Welcome to Adamant Lives Episode 5. This one is called Allah is Not Always With You. Why, oh why am I expecting trouble? Oh yeah, now I remember, because it's pretty fucking obvious. As you could maybe guess from the name of the episode, and the fact that only a couple of episodes ago we had a horribly racist depiction of Japan, we open on an evil Middle Eastern man threatening an English woman with what I think is a dentist drill. As instruments of torture go, that's certainly eccentric. Insert Marathon Man reference here. Tied down and tortured. You know, Ilza was so fucking unattractive that if I had to, I'd probably choose to fuck that guy. The woman works for some sort of a club and a guy called Ahmed finds her attractive, and this is why she's been captured. I can't give you any more details, and I don't think they explain this any better in the episode itself. Because these are truly the greatest gangsters ever, the second they're out of the room, she escapes using her mystical untying the ropes powers. They couldn't use chains. For shame. Anyway, a guy comes back and she chooses that moment to escape before getting hit by a henchman's laser-guided knife-throwing ability. Of course, being hit at the back by a superhuman knife throw, screaming loudly in the middle of the bad guy's home base, or falling down dead isn't enough to stop this bit part player, so she's next seen in the back of a London taxi, travelling to Adam Adamant's house. Adam Adamant, a man so secret that a woman who's just escaped from a horrible situation already knows his address by heart.
Hey, what is this? It's a bribe you've given.
You know, I could write a thesis on how actual London taxmen would react to being given the wrong fare. It would have entire sections on the sexual acts that you'd need to perform on them to make them stop stamping on your head. Yeah, she actually gave too much money, but I've always loved talking about taxi drivers dishing out violence. Anyway, she collapses and she gets brought inside by Sims. Jack May was actually a replacement actor for Sims, as the original guy damaged his back practicing this scene. Seeing how great Jack May is, I'm frankly a little glad. So how does Adamant react to her appearance?
Dear lady, what tragedy has befallen you?
Sometimes with him it's so hard to tell if it's concern or just seduction. They call a doctor and the woman manages to give tiny pieces of information about what's going on, enough for Adamant to start his investigation. And to be a cheesy bastard.
There is no greater crime than to strike down the weak and defenseless.
So having done her job in the episode, providing the audience with thoughts of evil Middle Easterners capturing and stabbing white women, she dies. Adamant gives Sims orders for dealing with the police.
At this stage, it would be wiser to keep my involvement secret.
Yeah, how? She died on your sofa. Even if Sims says you weren't there, your involvement is already pretty obvious. And lying to the police is a wonderful thing for the kids to see their hero advocating. Just saying. The woman was a worker at the Fluffy Club, and she was a Fluffy. Basically bunny girls who couldn't get the rights to be from the Playboy Club. It's a stripperish, porno-ish club and casino, so obviously Adamant's gonna love it there.
Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
He turns and looks at a woman a few seconds later. The childish part of me wished he'd said that while looking at her. Oh well, she takes Adamant to a table awaiting his waitress, who is, of course...
Miss Jones.
Yes, Miss Jones. That woman is the finest disguise expert in the world, out of the ones who never really attempt to disguise. And that poor guy is going to be haunted by her camel toe for the rest of his life. So, how'd she get the job? How'd she get assigned to Adamant? I'm inclined to suspect that she has mild telepathy.
And it was a breeze getting the job. You see, they're desperate for girls with good legs.
Or that. Damn it, I hate it when they come up with a semi-plausible reason for this stuff. She's found Ahmed and passes information about him on to Adamant, while he acts like the angry fuckwit customer who hates her that I actually think he wants to be. And someone tries to make Adamant dance.
Shake! Shake!
No, I fear I must forego that pleasure. But please, perhaps later you would do me the honour of joining me in a waltz.
Some gangsters watch Ahmed gambling and talk amongst themselves.
He cannot pay us without going to his father, and he daren't do that. He daren't do that at all.
Then you're ready for phase 2.
We are gangsters, doing gangstery things. We have ridiculous accents. Gangster, gangster, gangster. Ahmed is the guy who looks like Knick-Knack from The Man with the Golden Gun, only stretched. He's the son of the ruler of a small but rich country, and finally he gets invited to a much higher stakes game and of course brings Miss Jones with him. Adamant decides to investigate behind the scenes at the casino, and you know, for a kids show which has referenced sex, drugs, hookers and regularly kills its guest stars, I'm surprised rape's not turned up yet. Oh, there we go. Take a shot.
Now, sir. Extraordinary fellow.
What a strange person.
Because Adamant doesn't have any sort of memory for evil women, he will eventually be terribly surprised that she is in fact evil. Yup, they attempted to rape one of their own people as a way to trap Adamant. And just how far were they willing to go if he didn't hear? And nice plan, one of your guys ended up dead. In the casino, Ahmed is playing for higher and higher stakes. It's riveting stuff, if riveting actually means boring as fuck. In most episodes I talk about stuff that could be cut out. Well, here it is. All this. Meanwhile, somewhere else, the attempted rape and killing seems to have made the woman horny because she's suddenly very into Adamant. Now, we all know she's actually evil, because she's a woman not called Miss Jones who's in Adamant Lives, but Adam doesn't know that. Why isn't he insisting that she sees someone to get her fragile, womanly mind past the horrors that she's experienced that night, or something? I understand why she's doing this. She wants to knock him out so we can get a recommended dose of the flashback back to episode 1. But why is he? He can't want to get his Victorian end away. They didn't even have ends to get away. And what's the Victorian equivalent of a quick fuck? A meal. Even though it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Luncheon is served, sir.
Well, it's either 3 o'clock in the morning or Adamant's and Miss Jones's stories are in different time streams because back at the casino it's the middle of the night and Ahmed has managed to lose £250,000. Or a metric fuck ton in today's money.
Never can I hope to pay such a sum.
Of course you can, my dear boy. Your father is one of the richest men in the East. He would not even notice it.
He'd kill me. Not only is it forbidden by Allah, by my father, by his council and my advisors, but the people of Muada. They'd cast me out.
Sure, his dad's one of the richest men in the world, but he'll disown him for gambling, let alone losing that much. The autocratic ruler of a country that is A, psychotically opposed to gambling, and B, will disown rather than kill people who lose fortunes of their country's money. I think I predict overthrow in the next few years. Saddam Hussein's children would have got out of this problem by killing the waitresses, raping their corpses, and making the casino pay for the dry cleaning on their suits. So the casino owner and part-time gangster makes Ahmed an offer he can't refuse. If his father dies in the next couple of days and he becomes ruler, he can then pay him back. Don't trust him, Ahmed. I know he looks like such a nice, slimy toad man, but he's evil. Ahmed finds Miss Jones waiting in his car. You know, she's done that twice in 3 episodes. Someone should remind her that that's a crime. Her and Ahmed are clearly interested in each other. He explains the situation, that the casino boss wants him to sign a document about their arrangement. Oh, the poor bastard still trusts the nice, obviously evil toad man. At Adamant's house, it's nice to see someone actually spending time and effort to manipulate Adamant before revealing that they're evil. It's now the afternoon and the meal is just coming to an end. Not sure how that happened, so moving on. Miss Jones and Adamant meet up and within seconds Adamant works out the villain's plan. Get Ahmed heavily in debt, make him sign the piece of paper and then kill his father so if he ever talks or stops doing what the gangsters want, the contract will come to light and it'll look like he had his dad killed. I really wish I cared. Ahmed's father is having minor surgery in London, so Adamant comes to warn him.
You're in my heart, my mouth, my mind, with friendship.
Effendi, your purpose here.
With security like that, take however many years I predicted the overthrow would take and half it.
Greetings to you, Sheikh Hassim Ben Shares.
Wow. If it wasn't for the lack of Technicolor, I'd think we just wandered into a Sinbad movie. I, for one, hope that Adam fights a 6-armed green woman. The ruler knows who Adamant is, possibly because, under all that brown makeup and false nose, he's clearly an English guy. And for the glory of the 60s Star Trek Klingon-looking motherfucker empire, he wants to have sex with Miss Jones. Interesting that his devout religious beliefs that force him to hate gambling can be stretched to allow fucking women other than his wife. But that's hardly the first time anyone's been a hypocrite for Poontang.
I cannot allow any
Allow?
arrangements.
Allow? Cannot allow?
Not possibly, Effendi. Not without offending your own son.
Ahmed?
Oh, so that's how you get rid of unwanted old men. Tell them that fucking you would be incest by proxy. That would be useful if old men ever wanted to fuck me. So Miss Jones goes to work again. Now Adamant knows that she's undercover at the club. They know he knows, and yet the gangsters decide to kidnap her and keep her in the same club, while Adamant's there too. They're pretty good at hoisting their own petard, aren't they? They're so lucky that Adamant is a fucking moron when it comes to the obvious fucking villain woman that's distracting him at the moment. The gangsters are having trouble getting Ahmed to sign the agreement that'll damn him, so they take him to see Miss Jones being tortured.
I'll sign! I said I'll sign!
Yay! Torture on a kids' show! Because it's over 40 minutes in and the evil villainous woman has just got tired waiting for Adamant to work out what's going on, she just decides to take Adamant to see some of the bosses. Apparently, when seducing stupid heroes, she expects to at least get laid.
For an adventurer, Adam, you're really very naive.
Yeah, she's taking the lack of fucking very personally. So, knockout. Again. You'd think that a guy constantly seeing images of a woman he trusted betraying him, often after being betrayed by other women who he trusted, would encourage a guy to stop trusting women.
Leave him alone. Can't you see he's hurt?
You have troubles enough of your own, my dear.
You said you'd let her go.
The gangster takes the time to read the contract and explain the full plan to Ahmed.
In the event of the death of Sheikh Ben Shares, I agree to pay the sum of £250,000 to Nicholas Vargos in full payment of services rendered. Who will fail to believe that services rendered included murder?
Of course there's a slight problem with the contract. If he's threatening Ahmed with getting in trouble for paying him to kill his father, won't the guy paid to kill his father also get in trouble? You will do as I say or I'll tell the rest of the world you paid me to kill your father. You feed, but if that's the case, it's you who actually killed him. Oh, I didn't think of that. Will you do as I say? I don't think so. So the gangster heads away and leaves the guy who looks like John Sim in charge. Adam acts like a psycho.
Go on. Go on, use your knife on the girl. See if it gives you a little more strength.
You think so?
No? All right, then try me. Come on. It was a better death than he deserved, but there wasn't much time.
Okay, I'm calling it. Adamant is a fucking psychopath. Well done, Kids TV needs more of them. Now it's off to try and save Ahmed's father, who's being killed by a guy pretending to be a surgeon. That's a great way to kill someone, and to get caught before killing someone if the guy's not actually a surgeon.
Vargos. Vargos, now is the time to pay.
Oh, Vargos. The head gangster is the surgeon. If everyone in the room wasn't attacking Adamant, I'd suggest he wanted to get caught. People tend to notice what surgeons are fucking doing, especially if they're doing it very fucking wrong. So Adamant kills the bad guys and then leaves.
Adam!
That was a more sudden ending than a fucking 30s exploitation film. So goodbye Ahmed and his semi-romance with Miss Jones, because he's never seen again. This episode is my least favourite of the show so far. It's stupid, but not insanely so. It's racist in parts, but not as bad as More Deadly Than the Sword. And the plot is mundane. It's just boring. I'd hope for more insanity after the last one. Pity.